Hello everyone, welcome back to the Heffy Doodle channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Steph Williams. I'm a paper crafter and card maker from Queensland, Australia. And today I am back on the Heffy Doodle channel to show you how I made this Roarsome card. First up, I'm going to show you the products that I used. So here I have the 2x2 stamp set and its matching dies. I'll be using both tigers from this set. I'll be using two different pattern papers from the Greatest Show paper pad. I couldn't pick just one, so I had to come up with a card layout that involved two. To cut these, I'm going to be using the Showtime frame dies, the two largest ones today. And for my sentiment today, I'll be using the Moxie alphabet dies. My first step is to cut out my sentiment, so what I'm doing here is using the letters from the Moxie alphabet dies to spell the word Roarsome. I'm using some black cardstock and I'm running it through my mini die cutting machine, which, if I'm being honest, is probably my favourite crafting tool at the moment. There's nothing like having something that is both adorable and functional, and I just love how little it is and how well it cuts everything out. My next step is to stamp out my tigers. And just like with all my stamping, I do this a couple of times so that I have nice bold lines. After that, I'm then going to run these cuties through the die cut machine too. So as you can see here, I'm using the matching dies for the 2x2 stamp set, and I'm just holding these dies in place with some of this blue memo tape. And as you can see, after I run them through, they are cut out perfectly. And now on to colouring. So I'm keeping things very simple here. I only have two images to colour in today. So I'm using just a mix of oranges and browns and a couple of greys to colour in these cute tigers. I don't want to speed this up too much, so I'll leave you with a little bit of music while I colour these in. But before I go, I just want to remind you that everything that I'm using today will be linked down below in the description box. You'll find the link to the Heffy Doodle blog, my coordinating blog post for this project, and all the links to the products for the online store. Once my tigers are coloured in, I'm then going to start assembling my background. And it's super simple today. All I'm really doing here is lining up my letters, and as you can see, I'm using a grid mat with my papers taped down so that I could get a straight line. And what I'm doing here is just trying to evenly space out these letters as much as I can. I do have to wriggle around just a few of them, as this word nearly didn't fit. So it seems to be a little bit of a running joke over on my own channel that I like to risk everything when it comes to card making. So what I've got here is my background essentially ready to go, and now I'm going to stamp on it, which everyone knows is probably the silliest time to do this. And I prove that today because I stamp and it's perfect, and then I decide to stamp again and I mess it up. So I guess what I'm going to show you today is just a quick way of covering up these mistakes. So there was my little hissy fit. Was not happy that I ruined it. I had a few black scraps of cardstock, and so all I'm going to do is some white heat embossing on some black cardstock with the same words, and then I'm just going to trim this down once it's embossed and stick it over my mistake like a little band-aid. But before I do, I decided I would add my white highlights to my word now. I didn't want to add my embossed piece straight away while it was cooling down. Chances are I probably would have smudged it, and there's only so many layers I can add over a mistake before it becomes a little bit obvious. So here I am just using my size 1 Jelly Roll marker. It is my favourite. I love that chunky white line, and I'm sure you'll agree that just adding these lines gives everything just a little bit more dimension. So here I am trimming out my little band-aid, and I'm just going to stick that straight over the top. Now when I look at that, I think it's meant to be there. I feel like it actually looks a little bit better than stamping straight onto that pattern paper. It certainly wasn't as quick, but I do feel like it does look better in the end. So here I am adding some double-sided tape to the back of my largest pattern paper piece here. This is going to stick directly onto my card base once my card front is fully assembled. So now I'm just adding that top layer on, and then I'm going to stick on my tigers. Both of these cuties have some foam square on the back just to give them a bit of dimension and to make them pop out from my flat background. And while this card looked finished, to me something was missing, and I realised I didn't add my white highlights to my tigers. So that is just a quick and easy step to add them in, even at the last minute. And there we have it! This card is complete. I hope you enjoyed my project for Heffy Doodle. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. I'll be seeing you again next month with another project. Until then, bye for now!